Oh my goodness. Welcome to Empowered Now. I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm buzzing. I feel it. Blah, blah, blah. We talked about that in the last episode, how I just get like this. And I just want to, well, here it is again. Deep breaths. All right, let's start again. Okay. No. Fiercely honoring myself. I'm just going to honor myself. It's totally fine. Everything's fine. We're good. Welcome to Empowered Now. I'm your host, Colette Kati. Join me as we talk all things to uplift, encourage, teach, inspire, and empower you to see your best self, to live your best life, and to thrive wherever you are. Hi, welcome to Empowered Now. I'm your host, Colette Kati, and I freaking love my job. Yes. So last week we talked about, what did we talk about last week? Oh, I told you about my experience with Avril Lavigne's song, Head Above Water. Yes. Been feeling it all week. I'm like, this is the vibe. This is the vibe. So last week's episode, we talked about that story that I told. If you did not hear it, go listen to it. It's a good one. But we also talked about the first step in my everyday freedom formula. And today I want to talk about the second step. So my everyday freedom formula it's basically how I learned and developed how to live my life from the inside out. Because when we live life from the outside in, that's when we're needing other people, other circumstances, other things to be a certain way so that we can feel okay about ourselves. And you might not even realize you're doing it, but most of us do it. Most of us think, I need to get the job so that I'll feel okay. I need to have the baby so that I'll feel like a good person or a good mom. I need to have the boyfriend or the husband or the girlfriend or I need to have something outside of me tell me I'm enough. Make me feel like I'm enough. Make me feel happy. Make me feel worthwhile. Give me purpose. And I'm telling you, that way of living and thinking, it's okay, but you will not thrive as long as you are living your life from the outside in. My everyday freedom formula is how I learned to live from the inside out. And it's not really a new concept, but it's a method and an idea, I guess, a way of thinking and interacting with yourself and with the world that totally flips this idea of living outside in around. That's 180, right? It's a 180 degree shift, living from the inside out. Okay? It's such a better way to live. When you live from the inside out, you're not hustling for your worth. You're not asking for your worth. You're not questioning your worth. You know it's there. It is deep in your bones. You have experienced it. You have felt it because you have cultivated the type of living, the type of thinking, and the type of being that knows she's the shit. Pardon my language, but the inside out approach is what everybody is searching for. We're all hustling to feel better inside. And when we go outside to get it, we're always going to come up short because it doesn't live out there. It's already in here. It's already inside. So today, we're going to talk more about the second step in my everyday freedom formula to help you make that shift from living outside in to inside out. So the first step that we talked about last week a little bit, and I feel like I was all over the place, but this is just an introduction. There will be more to come. There will be more to come for sure. But the first step in my everyday freedom formula is to witness yourself. Be the witnesser of your life and of your being. And what that looks like in practical terms is and I'm just going to use guilt because this one keeps coming up, especially because it was just Mother's Day and mom guilt is a thing. Am I right? It's a thing. It's a whole meme. It's a whole phrase, having mom guilt. What is it about us moms that we just feel this guilt? We just feel this, everything that we do is not good enough. We need to perform in all the ways so that our children don't have to suffer, so that we are showing up as a great parent, so that we're doing all of the things and our heads are spinning. Am I right? Yes, it's a whole thing. So, and I would also like to reframe that term, because often guilt is something that we are meant to have. It's something that is just meant to be like a momentary, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like somebody blows a whistle and is like, hey, hold on, maybe you need to redirect. Okay. It's like guilt is meant to show up so you can recognize, oh, I did something that was out of alignment with my values, and I need to redirect and get back on course. And then you just continue on, right? Guilt is just like a trigger to help you redirect. But shame is the one that just incessantly stays there and is in your brain and tells you you're not enough and tells you there's a problem with every effing thing that you do. And that's what we're talking about when we talk about mom guilt, okay? So mom guilt is actually mom shame. It is the shame that we feel by not measuring up, by feeling like we're not adequate, like we don't belong in our position as a mother, which, by the way, yes, you do. And I don't care who you are, what you've been through. If you're experiencing mom shame, that tells me that you are a good mother, because you wouldn't even care if you didn't have this shame. Would tell me you didn't care. Do you know what I mean? Not saying that you have to have shame. Okay, I didn't say that right. When shame is showing up, that is a clear indication that you care, because you want things to be good for your children. You want to be the best mother. And just by caring, you are already doing your best. I promise you, in any given moment, you are doing the absolute best that you have been given. And we can continue to learn more about this mom shame, as we are going to today, so that you can recognize your infinite power and your infinite worth to be the mom that you are right now. Okay? All right. I hope that is very clear. Okay. So talking about the first step in my everyday freedom formula, which is witness yourself, what that actually looks like in an everyday scenario is, say that you have a bout of mom shame that comes up. Say that you feel, oh no, my child, I forgot to make them lunch today. They're going to have to eat school lunch, or they're not going to have a lunch today. Like, say it's that bad. Like, I forgot to make my child lunch, and that means they won't have lunch today, right? Mom shame. Do you feel it? Did you feel that in your gut? Because I did. Oh, I felt it so many times. I'm very familiar with it. So say that comes up. The way that you witness yourself is that you acknowledge, I'm feeling shame. I feel that shame. I see it. I notice it. I notice what it feels like in my body. I notice what it feels like in my brain. I notice it feels like in my eyes, like maybe I'm feeling tearful. Just notice that shame. I know it sounds really simple, but how often do we feel that shame and then we just start freaking out, or we start like berating ourselves? We start demeaning ourselves and talking down to ourselves. Oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot. Why did I do that? How come I did that? I'm a terrible mother. Like the labels, the judgment, we start in on that, right? All I'm asking you to do is be the witnesser, because we often, there's no beat there. We often don't allow time between the stimulus and then the response. right? It's more of a reaction. Like we feel the shame and then we're just reacting from it. We're, oh my gosh, I'm a terrible mother. How can I do that? I can't believe I did that. How did I not think of that? Oh, all the things. So taking a minute to witness yourself. I feel shame. Man, that hurts. I feel it. Okay? That gives you space to be present with yourself before the judgment kicks in, before the identification with being a bad mom, in air quotes, kicks in. Just witness shame. Be with it. We don't have to push it away because it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but can you feel it for a minute? Can you be with it for a minute? And if the thoughts do start right in, just see them. Just be the witnesser. I feel shame. I want to judge myself. I notice the language that is coming in my brain around judging myself. Just witness it. Just see it. It's so subtle and it's so simple, but I promise you, when you allow yourself that beat, that presence, that space between the feeling and then the reaction to it, you give yourself time to actually respond differently with yourself. And maybe right now you're listening to this thinking, well, hell yes, I should feel shame. I'm a terrible person. How could I forget my child's lunch? Just be the witnesser. I'm inviting you. Okay. So the next thing in the Everyday Freedom Formula is step 2, which is to fiercely honor yourself. Okay. So, and I don't just say honor. I could just say honor, but my gut is like, no, we don't need to just honor ourselves, people. We need to fiercely honor ourselves. Just like if we were our own mama bear, if we were our own best friend, if we were our own mother that had our backs from the very beginning, that does not want your child to feel shame. That's what we're doing for ourselves. We are fiercely honoring what we are experiencing. So what that actually looks like, say we take the same scenario. You feel shame. Here's the shame. The trigger is the mom shame. Witness it. Give a beat. Give space. Feel it. Promise you the feeling of it is way easier than the judging it. Does that make sense? The feeling of it is easier to handle and to stomach than judging it and judging yourself. Okay. So I actually feel inspired to go in the direction of what is not fiercely honoring yourself. Okay. So the second step is to fiercely honor yourself, but what is it not? What are we doing most of the time that is actually not honoring ourselves? Okay. So we already talked about one of them, judging yourself, starting in with the negative self-talk and the self-deprecating talk. You terrible person. I'm such an idiot, blah, blah, blah. That is definitely not honoring yourself. Another thing that is not honoring yourself is to fall into that shame blame cycle, because often when we feel shame, it's too much. It's like we don't want to feel this. So now we're going to make somebody else responsible, somebody else in charge. Oh my gosh, it was my husband. He was supposed to make the lunch. He should have known. He should have done it. Or you blame your child. Oh, my child should have gotten up. They should have been the one to make their lunch, which could be true or not. But it's like you try to find somebody to blame in the situation. That's also not fiercely honoring yourself. Trying to find the person to blame or the thing to blame or the situation to blame. Okay, I can't believe I can't think of the third one. There was a third one. What is the third one that I was thinking? I don't know. If you think of any in the comments, let me know below. But think of, ways that you're not really honoring yourself in that moment. But what is honoring yourself? And I know it might sound counterintuitive. You feel that mom shame. What's the next step? Is bringing your humanness and compassion into this moment. I know that sounds really hard sometimes. But when you recognize that you're in shame, you're in a shame cycle or a shame spiral or, a shame just bopping up to say hi moment, fiercely honor what is happening within. Just notice yourself. I notice that I'm in shame, and I notice that I don't like it, and it's okay. I completely love myself anyways. It's okay. I see myself. Just honor yourself in your humanness, because that's probably something that you didn't get. Maybe it's something you didn't get growing up, and that's why the spiral happens with the language and the judging and the feeling of dysregulation, like, oh no, I need to fix it. I need to fix it. What fiercely honoring looks like is to just be with it and offer compassion. We don't need to fix it. We just need to be with it. So giving yourself that grace. And what fiercely honoring yourself, oh, there's another one. What fiercely honoring yourself is not, it's not justification for wrong actions. It's not letting yourself off the hook if you have actually done something that you need to make amends for in your life or in the life of somebody else. But you're truly sitting with yourself in the gunk like a best friend would. You're putting your arm around you and you are honoring yourself as a human being in all of your mistakes, in all of your imperfections, and you're saying, I love you anyway. I'm here. I see you. It's okay. I love you. How many of us can actually do that for ourselves? I know, right? It's freaking hard. It's hard because we have so many other limiting beliefs in our brain that say that we don't deserve it, or say that, everybody else deserves that, but not me. It's so much easier to be able to see somebody else's humanness, especially our children. I think as parents, or especially as moms, and I can speak for that because I am a mom, it feels like it's easy to say, it's okay, I love you. We'll get through this. It's okay, I love you. And that's all I'm asking you to do for yourself. That's what fiercely honoring yourself looks like. I mean, it can look a lot of different ways, but that's what it is. Being able to see yourself in the moment of complete shame and utter possible self-disapproval and approve and still say, I see you. I understand you. You're not alone. And I love you, and it's okay. And there's so many different ways to do that. I have so many tools, so many methods that I have used over the years to help myself do that. Because you're not helping anybody in your world by going to that self-deprecating place. Your kid's not going to get their lunch any sooner, and you're not going to be any happier, and you're not going to show up for them as an empowered, strong, loving, kind mother if you're beating yourself up inside. You're just not. You're just not. And isn't it ironic that we can do these things for our children so much easier than we can do it for ourselves? And that's all I'm asking, is that you start putting yourself in that same category as deserving of love that you would put your children in. And you get to do that for yourself. And I promise you that if you're trying to teach your children how to love themselves, the number one best way you can do it is to learn to love yourself. And it's not easy. And I've been there. So I want to offer you a few things today that are things that I've noticed that can kind of get in the way of us fiercely honoring ourselves. And that when we get these things, it helps us make the shift a lot easier. And the first one is, and just kind of to make a list for, I use my hands a lot. Do you like this? Wax on, wax off. Okay. If you're not watching this on YouTube, it's a treat. You should come over and see it. Okay. I have so many thoughts. There are a few key principles to being able to fiercely honor yourself. Boundaries is a huge one. We will talk more about boundaries a lot here. Compassion, self-love, boundaries, compassion. That's number one, probably, is being able to offer yourself compassion, just as you would your child. The third one is detachment. Okay. And that's the one we're going to talk about. Okay. Hold on. Need a drink. I really needed to fiercely honor my need for a drink right there. So, yeah, that's another one, advocating for our needs. It's not even just being with ourselves when we have a shameful moment. It's advocating for our needs and uncovering and debunking the limiting beliefs, the lies, the myths that we have developed that prevent us from actually doing that for ourselves. So, so many thoughts, so many things that we could talk about today. But I really want to talk about detachment and its role in you being able to fiercely honor yourself, which is the second step in your pathway to inside out living. It's the best. Okay. Oftentimes when people talk about detachment, it sounds mean, especially if you're like I was, where it sounds like, oh no, that's mean. I don't want to detach from the people in my life. I love them. I want to stay connected to them and I want to help them, want to fix their problems and make everything good for them so that I can be happy, right? I remember it so well. Detachment. It's not mean. It can look and feel mean to some people, but here's the kicker. There's a limiting belief that we often prescribe to that keeps us stuck in this loop of not honoring ourselves and putting other people's needs first. And the belief is that, and see if you recognize it, that term, you hurt my feelings. I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. I don't want to make them feel bad. I don't want to cause them pain. You know, that term, I don't want to hurt their feelings or they hurt my feelings, implies that there's a belief in there somewhere in our brains, in our subconscious, that, or maybe it's very conscious, but that we are responsible for somebody else's feelings, for their emotions, for their happiness and their unhappiness. So that belief that we are responsible for other people's feelings and emotions, I get it. It's totally normal. I was totally in it. And even as I learned that it wasn't actually healthy, it was so hard for me to shift my brain around it. Because especially as a parent or as a mother, I felt like my children's happiness was my responsibility. And it's not actually helpful to believe that, because then we start doing things that are not actually in their best interest. And I'll use an example that I heard of recently of a parent that recently had been through a divorce, and I totally get it. The shame, the guilt, the shame that can come on from that as a parent is huge, of feeling like, oh my gosh, now they have to deal with a split family, they have to deal with this, and you start to feel all this empathy for your child and for what they're going through. Well, sometimes we do them a disservice by being like the Disneyland parent, you know, where you're trying to make up for the pain that they are unavoidably going to experience. And you feel like, well, I did this, so I need to fix it. And so you would just start catering to your child and giving them everything that they want. And it's not actually helping them or serving them to be given free rein to whatever they want. And we think that we're doing them a favor because we're giving them what they want so they'll stay connected to us, so that they'll love us, so they'll accept us, so that they'll feel happy. And we're going about it backwards, because the truth is we can't prevent anybody from experiencing pain. And yes, there is pain that people will experience that has to do with our choices. But then again, we still are not responsible for how they handle it. Now, I'm not saying if you do something wrong that you should not make amends. But even then, you can't fix their feelings. That is their responsibility now. Are you following me? Are we together still? Do you still love me? I want to make sure that you understand this, because when I was first learning it, it felt so counterintuitive, because I had, lived my life up until then that I really needed to make sure everything was okay for my family, because I just wanted it to be okay. I didn't want to watch people suffer. It's too painful. Suffering sucks. And I don't want to watch my loved ones suffer. Well, guess what? They're going to suffer. And it's not always up to you whether they do or don't. Okay, so what detachment isn't? It's not that we don't care about other people's feelings. It's just that we're no longer taking over responsibility for them. We can only take responsibility for our actions and for our own feelings and our interpretations and responses, and basically anything that's in my bubble that comes from me. That's what I'm responsible for. If I do something that causes somebody else pain, what I can do to fiercely honor myself is to be honest with myself about what is it that I did? Am I in the wrong, or am I advocating for myself? Okay, so that's very different. And both of them are going to cause somebody else pain, potentially. Okay, I'm going to ground this with a story because I feel like I'm going all over the place. I'll just use myself as an example, and I'll be vulnerable. So in my relationship with my husband, who has dealt with addiction in his life, when we were going through the thick of it, very difficult. And if you love anybody that's had an addiction, you understand how difficult it is. And it is absolutely vital that you learn to detach if you are to survive emotionally and mentally when you love somebody with an addiction. Absolutely vital that you learn to do this, okay? Because when you love somebody that has addiction or any mental illness for that matter, you can't make them happy. There's nothing you can do to make them happy, okay? Maybe in the moment, yes. But to fill that deep void that they are feeling within, that they are trying to fill with their addictions, you can't fill it. And you've got to stop trying, because you will drown trying. Okay, that's when the head above water scenario comes in here. You're trying to put yourself in a trying to put yourself in a responsibility that isn't yours. And so what that can look like is that you learning to advocate for yourself and set boundaries, it's not going to feel good to them. In fact, they may blame you for their unhappiness because they're already unhappy, and they're trying to reach outside to fill that void within. Okay? And as long as you cater to that, you will suffer because you can't fill the void. It's a never-ending pit that is not your responsibility. It's theirs. They can figure it out. And by the way, that's another piece to this story, is learning to allow them the dignity to succeed or fail on their own. Like, you swooping in and trying to fix everything is just going to create an aura of incompetence. You're teaching them that they can't do it. You're teaching them that they're not strong enough on their own to figure life out and to feel emotions and to get through things on their own. And that doesn't serve them or you. What I had to learn to do was allow Shay to be able to feel what he's feeling and really, really learn to resist the urge to sweep in and fix it. And that's difficult. That's so difficult for a people pleaser, for somebody that likes to fix and manage and make everybody happy. You've got to learn to allow people their own emotions. And you also got to learn that not all of your actions are shameworthy. Not all of your actions, though they might create pain in somebody else, are not something that you need to feel guilty for. Okay. And you will, because you're used to feeling guilt. And that's something that I work with. I had to learn different methods of dealing and honoring what was coming up for me so that I could process those emotions, that I could reframe and rewire the limiting beliefs that were creating this dynamic that was so unhealthy. And I hope that I'm painting a clear picture here, because I feel like there's so much information that I want to share with you that sometimes I get really like, oh, and then I'm over here, and then I'm over here, and then we're over here. So let me know in the comments below if you're feeling grounded with this topic. But also, this is exactly what I do. I am an empowerment life coach, and I help people through this exact thing, learning to overcome the shame, the guilt, learning to reframe and rewire those patterns that are keeping you stuck in a disempowering place. And by the way, when you become empowered, when you do that inner work so that you're living from the inside out, you are only going to bless the people around you. All of them. Because when you stand in your power, when you recognize your autonomy and you honor yourself, you witness yourself, you fiercely honor yourself, and then we'll talk about the next step in the next episode. But when you can do that, you're not only creating a better, solid, joyful life for yourself, but you're showing others not just how to do it, but you're also showing other people that you're a safe space for them to be exactly who they are. That they are safe to feel their emotions because you're no longer taking responsibility for them. You're no longer telling them that they're not good enough because they're feeling a certain emotion, because you don't need them to feel a certain emotion or not feel a certain emotion in order for you to be okay. See? That's freaking awesome. I get really passionate about this because this is my life's work. And that's why I'm here. What I was getting at was that this is what I do. And I fortunately have a few spaces open right now to take on private clients. And I'm working on some other stuff that I'm excited to share with you when the time comes. But right now, if this is calling to you, apply now. You owe it to yourself to really embody this inside out living. It is the best way to live. I promise you. If I hadn't had to go through all of the crap that I went through to learn it, I don't know that I'd be here today. And not only am I here, but I am here thriving in ways that I never thought that I would. And you deserve that too. So If it's calling to you, go apply. And you need to go listen to the last episode so you can hear about witnessing yourself. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments below or DM me on Instagram. And I would love to have a conversation with you. And yeah, let's do this. Inside Out Living, it's the best way to go. I'll see you guys next time. Mwah. Bye. Thanks for watching Empowered Now. If anything you heard today resonated with you and you want more, please like and subscribe so that you won't miss an upload. You can also follow me on social media at Colette Kati. And if you're interested in working with me more closely through coaching or other opportunities, go to my website, colettekati.com. It is my hope that you will continue to come back and experience for yourself the benefits of choosing an empowered life. Your feedback and your experience are very important to me, so please take a moment to connect with me in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on today's episode, ideas for future topics, and ideas for guests that you would like to see. And as always, thanks for your time, support, and your courage to live empowered now.